I think I want to address what is happening in the nation. We have heard scripts that have been pushed to say, no, Zambia now have a breathing space. There is peace in the nation. There's no peace. To start with, there is not even peace in the house, in the households, because of hunger and many other factors. But from that, I am more concerned about abduction, like arrests that have been made in this country. The latest one being that of Mr. Chanda, the wife, and the Baba man for the former president, who have been abducted. It's not even an arrest. I'm going into abduction and with no apology, because I think there is need that law and order is done within certain parameters. And these parameters should be parameters within the law of the way things are supposed to be done. If people have been found wanting, and I think there's a maxim that is promoted in natural justice, that everybody is presumed innocent until they are proven guilty. And that maxim is no longer working in Zambia. We have seen and we are witnesses to the fact that there are a lot of people that have been arrested in very illegal way of doing things. But I think it's a message to the church. It is a message to different stakeholders. Even those that sang songs, no, change, 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 change. If this is the change, and I think I want to use two important proverbs to the Zambians. One Bemba proverb says, and I think where we are going, it is a problem of where, if you feel it does not concern you, tomorrow it will be on your doorstep. Today, we have had the camp of the former president taken away, exposing the former president who served the nation for 7 years to insecurity. And I think this should not be tolerated, not in our country. We are a democracy. We chose to go to multi-party in 1991, and I think those credentials should be kept as it is. Zambia has been known as an haven of peace, and if it's an haven of peace, those who are charged with the wills to govern should govern above board. And currently, I can tell you that for those that are excited about this regime, this will be the worst regime ever. It will be worse than Kaunda's regime. It will be worse than the MMD regime. And if people think that the PF was worse, let's should wait for this regime. At the rate we are moving, even when we say there's no Kadahism, me where I come from, young people have been beaten every day and in connivance with the state police, where if young people have gone to complain, so long they belong to PF, then they should be, arrested. Even just last week, I was getting out one of the young people who was accused just for insulting. He was kept in police cells for 7 days, without charge, without anything. And the only case that was given is insulting. But away from that, I am coming back, that I'm appealing to the police, that let them show us where they have taken Mr. Chanda, who is the camp for the former 6th president, and his wife, plus the Baba man for the former president. I think it's a humble and I think it's we cannot go on in the country like this. And I think let us not take the peace we enjoy for granted. Things, when we talk about these factors, and I think even when we have not stopped anyone, even the former president did appeal, that I think instead of going around circles, if it is me that you need, come for me. He gave them a reward to do that. And I think this issue of abusing and harassing people that surrounded him, and I think even when we have to go by voting, if, for instance, we say that those elections which were manipulated, and we now know that they were manipulated by a lot of factors, if for instance, we say that the UPND got 2.8 and PF got 1.8, President Lungu, for instance, would suggest that he has got 1 point, but being a president, he has got more supporters than 1.8. That is a reality. Because we are closer to 19 million in the country. And I think starting to play with peace in the manner that we are playing. It's not healthy. And I think I am so disappointed with the silence from the church, stakeholders like the civil society, as they, I don't know whether they are being hoiled in a way or the other, because what is happening is very much abnormal. And I think in a normal society, we are supposed to scorn at this. But unfortunately, we seem to be comfortable and we think that this is for PF. It is everybody's fight. It's ruled watching sambu no shalimo akawamo. And I think as we watch, I am not suggesting, and I think tomorrow I know that in this country there is unreasonable excitement to silence voices of reason. Tomorrow you will find that people will be saying Fube is inciting violence. I'm not inciting any violence. And I think I'm a law-abiding citizen. But I am allergic to this kind of things. I'm allergic to this kind of governance. Even the time I was in the NGO society, I think I was allergic to this kind of governance. And I'm still allergic. I went to parliament to defend Zambian people. I went to parliament to see how much I can add value to natural justice. But what is happening is not natural justice. What is happening has to be addressed by everybody so that we have a country that is very peaceful. And I think this is going, if this is, we'll be moving at this rate, by the time UPND exhausts its one-term governance, we will find that it would have deteriorated the credentials for democracy to unrecoverable, proportions. If at all this is not going to be watched, we cannot go on like this. Everybody know they have been picked, they have been taken to a non-watch. Just the other day, youths were piled up in their same fashion, and I think I'm appealing to UPND, start governing. You are now with a steering to govern, start governing. You are not in opposition for you to be this reactive. I know that why you are doing this is because you are under pressure with what you promised the people. You promised the third child and teachers, you are not employing any, and you keep on giving different reasons. You promised the civil servant, you promised that you are going to handle the prices for essential commodities by making sure that you as economic managers are going to manage the... Now all those things are giving you under pressure. But to divert attention, you have preoccupied people by painting PF as criminals and people that can be arrested anyhow. But as the country, some of them sees this as normal. Very soon, this will be seen as an abnormal because it's growing in terms of proportion, it's growing in terms of volume, it's growing also in terms of the injustice that is spreading. When you touch Mr. Chanda, who has also got family members, they are also aggrieved. And you touch another family, just like that. And I think when we look at such, especially with the impotence and the enshrined soul in the constitution of Zambia, the preamble that Zambia is a Christian nation. And if I'm to embrace Christian nations, they are about peace, they are about love, they are about unity. What we are seeing is not unity. And it's time that we rose up, not rising up as in bad faith. It's time that we rose up and condemned this bad governance, which has started too early. And I think this kind of credentials for people that have been in opposition for 23 years, preaching good governance, preaching social justice, preaching all sorts of things, to come and govern in this amateurish under five way, it's very much unacceptable. We are not going to allow this, and I think there is no way the head of the camp can be picked like that, and then the senior people or the powers that be don't know anything about it. Exposing the sixth president security like that. So whom do they think is going to look after the sixth president in that manner? What is it that they have done? What is their objective? What is their main score that they want to rest so that we can give it to them? If they want to kill us, let them kill us instead of going in circles. This is very much unacceptable. And I think we cannot go on like this as a country. We need to be above board. And I think I am calling on the president that if what he preaches is what he believes in, let him take up the step to do the police, since he's the commander-in-chief and the police is under him. Let us find out where Mr. Chanda is. Let us find out where the the wife is. Let us also find out where the Baba man for the former president is. And I think that is where we should begin from. And if Mr. Chanda has committed any offense which is in line and has abused the law or is in infringement of the law in any manner, there are procedures to follow to arrest him formally. And I think we should not start treating each other like dangerous criminals in this manner. We are not dangerous criminals. At the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters who should be in a position to sit at the same table and talk peace and talk unity and all that. And I think it is a serious misnomer that for a man that has stayed this silent, he can be abused in the manner that is being abused. President Lungu, ever since he left power, he has even stayed away. When the people have swept him in some of these factors, he has chosen to stay away and, read his life so that he reflects on the issues. But I think what we are seeing is not very healthy. What we are seeing is not very healthy because in as far as every human being is concerned, they have exposed to social network. And I think above security, Mr. Sanda is also part of the emotional and social network of the former president. We cannot start amputating the man's none. The man who had all the audacity to say, I am defeated and I am giving power, should not be treated that way. And I think this is not going to go down well. It's not going to go down well because we need to make sure that, as far as we are implementing the law, we need to facilitate the procedures within the parameters of what the law stipulates. We cannot be having this an arbitrary, arrests and business as usual. No, this is unacceptable. I am demanding that by tomorrow, let us know where Mr. Chanda is and let them tell us what Mr. Chanda has done, that he should be treated like a criminal. Let them tell us what the wife has done. Let them tell us what the Baba man has done. Because this kind of picture, where we are discriminating each other this way, like tomorrow we can't see each other eye to eye, is not governance. I know that people want to say this government. No, me, I will not say this government. I'm part of government because government has got three arms, and I belong to the legislature. That is why I have seen that there is everything wrong with this kind of arrest. If indeed people stole money, if indeed people committed crimes, if indeed there is something wrong that people did, there are enough laws that should be followed. Not this arbitrary kind of, arrest and harassing each other. I think enough is enough, and it's getting too much. Can we be taught what is going on in this nation? Can we be told whether this is the main manifesto that was hidden in some way, that we are not told to the Zambians? Even just the turn-up from Kawata showed that those young people who are parading with guns are not there, and they have evaporated in thin air. That is a very big sign. But people want to bury their heads in the sand and think that that is a normal situation. That is 5 months down the line, where somebody had a landslide, and then today you can have the 75% staying away from an election, and then you think that is very normal. No. It means that those that have stayed away are frustrated. Those that have stayed away have not seen the need to go and vote, and they are not excited for such. So, when we are looking at matters of this nature, we are not saying that we should interfere with the police. We should interfere, but even the police should be very professional and above board. Not this issue of whoever just says, this is PF. Before they even look at the face, a person is already arrested. No, this is an associate of PF. No, this person did business with PF. Before they even look at their books, before they even look at what business they do, first they have to throw them in the cells, and everything, then other things later follows. Because where we are going later, it will be the state under pressure in terms of unlawful detention, and the state will be spending a lot of money. This kind of excitement should be checked. But I think I am again, when I say the church, I do not necessarily mean just Christian churches. I am talking about the religious groups that act as a moral compass of the nation, that they should come in and make sure that this is checked. I'm talking also about the civil society, that they should come in and see that this is checked. Let us not just be getting money from donors
and say that we are championing human rights, that we are standing for people's liberty and freedoms, and what we are doing at the end of the day is not supposed to be seen, because the work that we are supposed to deliver is. And lastly, I would like to wrap it this way, that any government that should come in place should be guided by Matthew 25, especially in a Christian nation like this, which is verse 31 to 46. I was hungry, you fed me. I was, naked, you clothed me. I didn't have water, you gave me water, you quenched my thirst. I was in prison, you visited me. And I was in hospital, you actually visited me. And how we do those, it's not necessarily visiting, it's not necessary. We build prisons like PF did build the Mwembeshi, because that is supposed to be done. In every society, there will be intelligent soldiers who should be kept in there. In every society, people would get sick. We built hospitals. We built, different infrastructure. Optic fiber, mention it. Should we be insulted really in this manner for having worked for the country? And at least we have an example which we can point. Can our friends also pull up the socks so that the robust economic, programming and management that they were talking about can be seen in what they do? It cannot be seen in arresting people every day. It cannot be seen in abducting people. We are not in a police state, and I think some of us, if this is what is going to be, we are ready to fill the cells of this nation, because this is not going to go. This is not a police state. In 1991, when we had the repeal of Article 4 of the Constitution, then through the meeting of the cathedral at the Old Cross, when we chose to go for multi-party, this is not what we insisted. This is not what we desired. We desired a better life. And I think with the interaction, even no matter how much evil is pronounced over what people PF did, the evil we are seeing today is smelling. The evil we are seeing today is too much. And it's too early to see this kind of evil, even when they want to protect power. This is not going to go. And I pray that those that have got ears should hear. Those that have got eyes should see that there is something wrong with how we are living under one, roof called Zambia as a country. And I think we need to review our fraternal ties if this is to go. This is not good. It's not an ingredient for democratic tenets. It's not. And I think police state is not one of the ingredients of a democratic tenets or a democratic state. We have not chosen to go this route. And I think even those young people that may think that jobs matter than freedoms and liberties, that jobs matter than anything else, the jobs that are not even there, would one day find such a situation, and they will find them, if this situation is soured and is allowed to sour like this, you know that a particular situation creates a culture. Let us amputate this culture from its birth so that it does not spread to our young people. And I think our young people, even the voting pattern is quite naive sometimes. It's just voted because somebody has floated some sweet talk and then they vote. And this is where we are now. This is not it. This is not it. Mr. Chanda tomorrow should be released. If not, they should show us where he is so that he has access to legal representation. That is if I thought they found him with anything, not this kind of abduction like arrests. These are not very good arrests. And I've never known Mr. Chanda as a common criminal to be taken like this. This is not even a military state for us to be operating this way. And I think let us be within the parameters of the law. If we want to implement the law, let us implement the law without abusing it. And I think that's what we are calling for. We are not asking for too much. We are only asking for that. And I think that is my word. And I'm asking the president that as a commander-in-chief, this particular case, you should take interest. I'm asking the Minister of Home Affairs that this particular case, it should take interest. There is no way we can expose the former president's security by arresting his person and without proper procedure and so forth. So in this case, what is it that we mean? What is it that we want? Really, this is too much. It is sad. It's a dark cloud which should not be entertained. Thank you so much.